C1 is content. The C2 is container, developing structure. We did not touch it at all. That will carry all of that. The C3, now I don't like this word, but it's just because I wanted to use CCC. So I now chose it because I'm using business language. So if it's a restaurant, the content is the quality of food, drinks, all the different things that are serving the public. The container will be how the facility they are using, how they package, their branding. If you look at their signboard, even the food, when they send it to you, how they package it. If you go to their website, all of those things that they use. Have you noticed? Who can give me a phone? This is my phone. Okay, this is not my phone. This is Pastor Sarah's phone. Eh? This is the content, the value that was created by, I think this is Samsung or iPhone, I think it's Samsung, created by Samsung to deliver to the public. But when we got this phone, it was not like this. If they brought it like this, the price will not be up to 1/3 of what we paid. I don't want to say anything about the value. I hope you know there are some phones over $1 million. I hope you know there is a phone that is up to 3 million. Eh? But if they bring it like this and sell it, people will buy it for 20,000, 15,000, 60,000 maximum. Who will even pay you 60? It comes packaged. Go and do that for your. I will show you people some things on Tuesday. 12 things. This and that packaging is what skyrockets the value. What we are giving to give to the people is the gospel, is the word, is all of the things we've been talking about. If you notice, me too, I went under the content and took. The content has about 12 things in it. I just took one: supernatural healing. Pastor Poju took about maybe 2 or whatever. Package it. Because of the packaging, that carton the phone comes with, the pictures they will draw on it, designs, the supports, whatever, like the charger, some of those, they put there. People are paying 3 million for a phone. If you go to second-hand market, somebody else can sell this thing to you for 25,000. Just think about it. What's the difference between that buka where you buy food, 200 naira, 300 naira, and a proper restaurant? Of course, when you go to Hilton in Abuja, people pay 30,000 for one food, a plate of food. Not a plate, just to eat. The way the food is organized, the way the place is even designed, even the environment where you're eating the food, you're paying for all those things. 30,000. I think last Christmas they made it about whether 35 or what. For something you can go across the street and eat with 500 naira. And sometimes those ones in the street are sweeter. It might be that your message is even sweeter and more powerful. But you see, the subject he's tackling now, church plant, is part of structure. It's part of structure. Because will the person in Nsukka keep coming to Enugu to attend your service? So, but that does not mean that you should go do branches. So, everybody does not have that apostolic because it has a lot of challenges. There are different models. Just because they say structure doesn't mean you should jump into every. For example, now, that person at Nsukka that is part of your ministry, on Sunday he cannot come. Do you have another structure to reach him online? And do you have a structure for him to pay his tithes and offering online after watching? Because if he can do that, what is the use of Have you created? Okay, the third C. We just didn't know the word. When one of you come up with a better word, please send it to me because I don't like the word customers. So you can't lock me just into spiritual terminologies or where, because it's the same truth. All truths are parallel. It's just knowing how to. Because some of us talk about things from the Bible, we can't make it come down. So people are not able to relate to it. That's why when you develop the right brain gets revelation. The left brain will bring it down to where people live. You need to develop the two. A minister needs to be educated. Okay, here is the point. The third C is customers. I don't like that word because I don't want pastors to be looking at their church people as customers. But you see, in business school, they use that word to address internal and external audience. The internal are your staff, your people. So you see, this thing is about how you attract people. I think Pastor Shea did something about the front door. He was dealing with part of this subject now. How you attract people, how you retain people. In the next training, there will be a lot of work about closing that back door. The issue is that people come to church, but they don't stay. What do? There is a wisdom to tackle that. How you now develop those people and how you deploy them. And then after you deploy them, how you manage all of that to deliver results. Did you see the 5 things? It's not just attracting the people come to church. So the processing of human capital to be able to achieve the goals. Then there is now the public that is out there designing, Pastor Poju used a word, point of contact with the city. Okay, I'm going to play a video for you. He said how they stayed for many years, no growth, until they designed a point of contact. Right now, I'm aware of at least 1, 2, 3, up to 4 of them that they have designed. We have quite a number of them. For example, he does this thing that's called platform. You see politicians, all kinds of people. Some of them have come there to speak. All of them are not born again, but it changes their perception of church. They want to look at tangible things that your ministry is doing for the community. If you start water project now, or whatever, giving water to community, after a while, the world will recognize you as long as you keep up showing what you're doing. Yes. Every year, dig one borehole. Every year. Why are we talking about Mother Teresa? Is it because of her preaching? Do you know her theology? Design a point of contact with the city. Because you see, most of what some of us are doing is that our ministries are just internal services. You are supposed to have 2 kinds of ministry. The one that services the people you have. So you are frying fish in your frying pan. That's what some of us have been doing. Turning our jollof rice that is already in the pot. But you forget that it's finishing. So how do you make sure that there's new ones coming? So that's the point. You need to design another program that is constantly reaching the city. What deceives people is that internal ministry, maintenance, Sunday after Sunday. They don't have. And if you are designing such a program, you have to design with the understanding of what the people need. That's why at the beginning, there are test runs. There is a season when you are testing the waters. Design what it is, if it is weekly, if it is monthly, that is meeting the needs of the public. That is what will be fueling the growth of that church. Then this internal thing is what you're using to now disciple and process. If you don't design it, Pastor Day may have to design success power, helping people succeed. And that's what he took. And that's what is pulling. So that last C is about people. It's about people. What it means is that that man that has a restaurant, he has good food. Then he has designed good structure, good good organization to administer, to carry out. Now needs efficient staff. Because apart from the good food and all that, if I come there to eat and his people that serve insult me, I say, please, I need salt. And the person just, every other thing is good, but the people working are spoiling the business. So you see what is going on now? Your ushers, your staffs, your leaders, your pastors, the trainings that they need to be able to deliver efficient services. It is these three dynamics that produces great churches. So it does not matter what it is, whether it's a social project, normal church, whatever. The people, your people decides whether the thing is growing or not. If you only have 50 people now, and you go back and work on them, train them on how to be sensitive to new believers, and a couple of how to be welcoming, because I'm sure you know what happens now. When service ends, sit down as a pastor and watch the behavior of people. They just go back to their cliques. Those 24 people that came newly feel lost. Everybody is going back to gist with their friend, but they are not trained that whenever a service ends, leave your old friend, leave your family. That's not what you're supposed to be looking out for these people that are new. Befriend them, because what makes people stay is that love and friendship. They found connection. They love the message. They have a powerful sermon. That's your content. Maybe the power of God even moved. And maybe you have wonderful facility, wonderful. But in Europe now, we have all those wonderful cathedrals, but they are empty. You can't just take one and say, after we build this, the whole city will come here. You are joking. Those people, 50 people that you have now, are the people you need to go back and give mandate. In the next 3 months, 12 people. And you don't just tell them, cast that vision. That's why we are here. You preach message. Anything that is causing problem in a church, address it with training. Get your leaders and do a course. You don't know how to, go and find some people who understand that area. If you're not going to ask for them to come and do it, study the work, what they have done, how they have solved this, and then run that train. Play some of the tape. It must not be that everything is coming from you. Play some of those tapes during the training. And then you will sit down and discuss it and work on it. And you will see better performance. After a while, improve on it. So if church is not growing, it means, let me give you one example about contact with the city. It's evangelism. Evangelism. Your most effective contact with the city are your people that go back there every day and come from there. Turn all of them into your marketing agents. Turn all of them into your instrument. Give them goals weekly. You need to go back now and set goals that you're going to double this church or triple it in the next 3 months. But the key, those 25 people. That's why I talk about the principle of the 12. The compound effect. Let's leave that another time. Those 25 people, give them those assignments. 12 people. A minimum you can do is 1 a week. That means in 12 weeks, all of you have accomplished. Stay on it. You people pray it. And then you release that assignment. Next week, I don't care what you are teaching. When you finish your marriage, go back to challenging them on that. You know what will happen when 20 people all get their 12 in 13, 12. one a week is 12 weeks. That's 3 months. Am I correct? Those 20 people have turned to a church of 240 people plus the original 20. Ladies and gentlemen, you can do it. So you see why organization train and train. If it is your Tuesday, turn it into your training engine every week. Don't go and fill the whole church with activities. Midweek, Sunday, Friday, this. You need a prayer meeting. If it's Friday that works for you, turn your Friday into a prayer meeting. You need a prayer meeting to drive this home. Don't go and fill it with activities. After the Sunday service, the next most critical activity is the one where you are working on the people that are helping you to grow the work. If it's your Tuesday, if it is your, I don't know what day you should use to be doing that. That is the next thing. Don't come and say midweek, you repeat what you did on Sunday. Nothing is moving. You are just recycling the same activity. You like preaching. You see, the messages that came from this weekend, you can use it to turn around your workers. When they finish listening, then you now sit down and start discussing. Let them hear from Pastor David, hear from Pastor Poju, hear from Pastor Shea, so that they will know that that thing you have been telling them is not just you. Why did Jesus need John the Baptist's voice? As anointed as he was. Yesterday I was just showing how I fear to use the word failed, because that's what was coming out. Failed in his hometown. His healing power didn't work. Do you know what he did? He sent people 2 by 2. And they went and resolved the problem. Because since his disciples are not from there, the people did not have that familiarity with them. You've been trying to pray for your mother or pray for your wife. It's not working. Maybe your wife just invite somebody else to come and do it. Don't let familiarity now stop you. Deploy other people that are not familiar now. That's why they said doctors should not treat their family people. They don't treat their wife. They don't treat their own children. But they are professionals. You have to bring other doctors to do it. Sentiment will come in. And sometimes that sentiment, because of you forget your professional. It's only during emergency, when situation, maybe there's earthquake, certain things happen, they can't help it. You hear that the doctor is one delivering baby for his own daughter. They don't do it. The fish has to be caught from the water now before you can fry. You like frying in the frying pan. But where is the supply coming from? How children learn to speak their parents' language. Do you send them to school? If you're Yoruba or Igbo or you're an English person, do you send your kids to school to go and learn your language? No. You give birth to them. They're lying there, but they are listening. You people talk in that house, they are listening. The parents are talking, they are listening. Some of them by the age of 3, some of them before they start school, they are speaking their parents' tongue. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 20. My son, attend to my words, incline your ear to my saying. Verse 21. Let them not depart from your eyes, keep them in the midst of your heart. This is the law of spiritual reproduction. David is trying to reproduce in Solomon everything he has learned from God. And Solomon is trying to reproduce the same thing in the next generation. So when you read it, you go home and read it. Look at all the gates. Go back to verse 20. Let them see the first gate mentioned there. Incline your ear to my saying. Go to 21. Let them not depart from your eyes, your eye. So some of these things are also videos and visuals. In their time when they didn't have videos, they paint pictures. So you can imagine for stadium, dealing with stadium, I got all those Rehabonke's pictures. I went to Benin to see Papa Idahosa, and what he did, he got a robot and T.L. Osborne, pasted everywhere in his office. And then he got their messages. And then he started doing the same thing. It's the same law. So I got Idahosa's son, got Rehabonke's son, and put in my office. And then I started doing this. It's the same law. Anybody you see that is not able to trace where he got the anointing and the kind of mandate he's carrying, they are deceiving you. It's absolute spirit that is troubling them. The spirit of Lucifer is a spirit of independence. It draws something, but after you disconnect and claim that you are the originator of it, it's just a deception. The principle is spiritual reproduction, and it's the principle of apostolic succession. Then Taylor told how he got his own. He said he was William Branham. In the book of Colossians, Paul the apostle said, I fill up what is lacking in the sufferings of Christ for his body's sake. Please show it to them. The thing shocked me the first time I read it. I said, so you mean there are deficiencies in the sufferings of Christ? Yes. The ones Jesus didn't complete, I complete it for his body's sake. Show it to them. Who now rejoice in my sufferings for you and fill up that which is behind of the sufferings, the afflictions of Christ in my flesh for his body's sake. I thought Jesus suffered everything. He didn't. It is finished is all that is needed to take care of salvation. That's what he did, and it is finished. When it comes to that, nothing is left out. He paid all the price. But then, after you manufacture goods, you have made invention, how to generate electricity from whatever, from water. And you have created generators that run on water, and you have filled the warehouse with it. Does it mean that society have that generator? No. There is a missing link. One of them is marketing. So Paul said, my own knives, I will be the one that will take it to all those nations, not to Jewish nations. Not to the people Jesus preached to. He said, where Christ is not named, I will go through, they can kill me. So there were a lot of sufferings. If Jesus had done complete all the suffering, why did he tell us carry the cross? I thought he had carried all the cross. He said, your own part to play. And then when you see Paul going and nations, you think he has done everything. Ooh. He said, I plant, Apollos watered. Because all those people I'm reaching, they now need to be nurtured, to be discipled. I don't do the discipling. Apollos is filling up that one. Somewhere now another person will see administration. Somewhere another person will see follow-up. Somewhere another person will see, let me be financing. Let them be going. Another person will say, I will be the intercessor like Father Nash that covers this man and this project. Go back to what I was reading before, Proverbs chapter 4 verse. I stopped at verse 21. So 20 said, I cry your ear. 21 say your eyes. Then the third is your heart. Keep them in the midst of you. That means you have to meditate. That's how you get it in there. Then verse 22. For they are life to those that find them and health to all their flesh. Anybody that you have tried healing on and it didn't work, send him to practice this law. There is a woman, she didn't have healing ministry, she didn't have all this anointing, but she's the one that gets more people healed than all the healing evangelists at that time. When the TLs and the William Brahams and the Kenneth Hagins have finished praying for them, they didn't get healed. She runs a healing home. She now tells the people, anyone that have gone, you have finished with all these powerful men, you did it, come to my healing home. Her own is the word. She will feed them, because she will feed. Finally, through the eyes, through the ears, finally it gets to the heart, he heals the man. Her own process takes longer time, sometimes 3 days before, sometimes a whole week. But she gets the result where everybody has failed. Yes. I showed you yesterday, when Jesus tried his own time, he didn't work. What did he resort to back? Teaching. We all want to. No. Why did they make medical practice a system? And sometimes people are admitted for 2 weeks. Sometimes. And this is the secret, if you want to know. You see these healing services we do, and healing crusade, maximum 10 to 20% is the result he gets. Yes. But when we advertise it in crusade, everybody is 10 to 20%. Because that method is the sower's method, scatter seed. So some fall on the wayside, some fall. But all those wayside, all those rocky ground, if you bring them to a place to incubate them, you till the rocky ground. The one that fell on the wayside, you till that place that is a pathway, till it and plant, and they will grow. So that is what people like Kenneth Hagin discovered. He wasn't among those top heavy duty, like T.L. William Branham jamming stadiums. He now found a lot of shortfalls. A lot of people are not really getting healed. And then some that got healed lose the healing. So he now built a healing school. See the secret behind healing school. You put people for a whole week on the word. They are hearing all the things on healing. They are hearing and they are playing videos of testimonies. They are playing videos of crusade. They are listening to other people who got healed of the sentence. Cancer people are hearing people healed of cancer. And then they are giving them the word. You see the kind of things I give. Not that day, nobody prays for them. The next day, nobody prays for them. The third day, nobody. The minimum is 3 days. You know the way we run encounter retreat, a whole weekend. 72 hours. They are being loaded by the one. It doesn't mean you. Testimonies from here. Small clip. They play. There is a session where they just watch 1 hour of miracles. They are watching it video. And you see the man is lying on the stretcher. He's on a wheelchair. The first day pass, they load them, they create breaks. Then they are playing worship. The environment is saturated with worship. The presence of God is there. And the worshipers come, intercessors come, and get them to pray in the spirit at a certain time. And then they worship. The first day pass, nobody prays for them. Second day pass, nobody prays. Minimum is for 72 hours. Sometimes it's up to 1 week. Kenneth Hagin runs the ones that is 1 week. Then finally, you show up. As you are doing like this, they will be getting healed. They will be coming out of wheelchair. What happened? 72 hours was spent to activate their faith, connect them to the Spirit. You just come as you are doing like they will be coming out. Demons will be flying out of people because all the barriers have been broken. Go and try it and see what will happen. Start encounter, but healing and deliverance, and see what will happen. You will shake the whole country to its foundation. I'm going to run one. And I suspect the Holy Spirit has been telling me, maybe this year, just to set that example so you will see. You can move result to 90-something% to 100% by doing this. Did you hear what I just said? You can move result to 90-something to 100% by doing it. And then Kenneth Hagin found out that all this power, that when he brought the word and increased, the result, brrr. Those people that used to lose their healing, stop losing their healing because the word consolidates them. It's like young believers that backslide, they keep backsliding. What do you do to stop it? Is it not foundation school, discipleship school, encounter? And they go through that. What they have gone through is called consolidation. They become strong. It's different from that crusade, blah, 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 blah. Give your life today, give. Tomorrow, they go back to smoking, go back to club. Because there is nothing else to consolidate that. So if you see where healing schools are run, this is the secret behind it. It is Proverbs 4:20-22. He said, when people do this, it is health to all their flesh. They will end up getting healed, but they will also end up getting transformed. Their result is more permanent, and their life is changed, not just that they got healing and go away. They are life first to those that find it. The second thing is healing to their bodies. Get them to watch miracles. Get them to watch. You see a person, this cancer, because the body of Christ seems to have given up on cancer. They think it's a special, the thing doesn't, after they still die. They are surrounded with that environment of doubt. Even doctors will tell you have 2 years to go or 6 months to live. At home, everybody is filled with fear, even if they don't say it out. That's the put them in this incubation and see what happens.